Hey guys, welcome to another recap of Dancing with the Stars. Last week we got rid of some dead weight. Ashley Hamilton and Macy Gray. Alright, so this week Len is not there. Filling in for him is guest judge Baz Luhrmann. He's a Brit. That's going with the formula. You gotta have the Asian, the Brit, and the Italian guy who's gay. So yeah, they had to fill in with a Brit. So this week is also short dances because, I guess because of the Jewish holiday, they only had 3.5 days to prepare. And this is the biggest cast ever. And they needed to fit all 14 dances into 2 hours because I think that's pretty much the limit. They're not going to go any more than 2 hours. So up first was Joanna and Derek with their Jive. Now, their dance was very high energy. But it was a pretty hot mess considering last week she did really well. So they ended up with a 20. Natalie and Alec were up next with their Quickstep. Sloppy. Such a difficult dance, said the judges. Aren't they all difficult, really? It wasn't pretty to look at, but she was. The judges are in love with her smile, so she ended up with a 21. Chuck and Anna up next with their Tango. He stomped around like a pretty crazy angry zombie. I'm sorry. He was about as graceful as a butterfly with one wing. But he tried. And you know what? He showed some chest, so he scored himself a 19. Melissa and Mark up next with their Jive. This is like Mark's specialty. There was some definite creative choreography going on here. And Mark was totally overcompensating like he always does every season. Well, at least she wasn't as nervous as she was last week, so they ended up with a 19. Michael and Anna, they had a quick step. He went from crap to craptacular. Big improvement. They got a 20. Alright, now Debi and Maksim. They had a tango, and yeah, he brought another celebrity to tears. He does it every season, except I think the only exception was Scary Spice. I'm not sure if she actually cried or not. But who the hell was singing the Sting song, Roxanne? It sounded like Bert from Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street. The dancing was kind of awkward, but it was adequate. They ended up with a 21. Alright, Louie and Chelsie. I definitely think Louie is the secret love child of Eddie Van Halen, but he's probably not. He could definitely pass for it, though. I'd like to see a paternity test there, I think. They did a Jive, and he had some awesome tricks, but even though the whole thing was not great, it was still much better than I thought it was going to be, so they ended up with a 19. Aaron and Karina. They did a quick step, and they had to shove in Animal from the Muppet Show on theirs because they danced to the Muppet Show theme. Pretty cheesy. He did a great job, but come on. Calling him a mini Fred Astaire, that's like dancer's sacrilege. Come on. 27 for them. Kelly and Louie. They did a tango, and I was all prepared for her to totally rock it, but it was just not as good as last week. There's no smiling in tango, Kelly. And there was kind of a plethora of mistakes. She ended up with a 19. Kathy and Tony. I was waiting for them to implode on their quick step. It was a big improvement over last week, even though it was still quite Susan Lucci, you know, the whole slow motion thing, elderly, but they ended up with an 18. Mark and Lacey. They had a quick step, and I thought they did a really great job. I was totally surprised how good he was, even with the kung fu not in the dance. And I was totally surprised that the scores weren't a lot higher than they were. They only ended up with a 21. Maya and Dmitry. They did a Jive. This was my surprise of the night. She totally rocked it, and then some. She put in a rock-solid performance. I'm really surprised there was not 110 in that group. She ended up with a 27. Tom and Cheryl. Should Tom still be here? I don't know. Maybe he won't be. Tango. He's got pre-stress fractures in his toes. Again, much better than I thought it was going to be until the end when he almost dumped Cheryl. If he had held on to Cheryl, that would have been quite a dance for him. So he ended up with an 18. Rounding out the night was Donny and Kim. They did a jive. I thought he really did a great job. It only came off a little bit elderly. And words of advice for Kim. Honey, edit is gone. You don't have to go full slut anymore because there's no competition. They ended up with a 25, by the way. So tied for first place is Maya and Aaron, both with a score of 27. And tied for the bottom is Tom and Kathy, both with 18s. So tomorrow night, huge show. It's going to be huge. 62 performers from Stomp the Yard and the USC Trojan Marching Band. Somebody's going home, but not before Stone and Selena Gomez perform. So check it out tomorrow night. Till then, much love.